Welcome to part 2 of the ballpoint pen drawing technique. In the previous video, I've gray toned the entire anatomy. I basically went in and just cross-hatched the hell out of this figure until the whole body has a nice even gray tone to it, basically a medium tone. And in this video, I am going in and start adding details and just really making the musculature of the anatomy starting to pop. So you go in and just darken all the area that falls into the shadows and all the area that are in the light. So it's actually it's actually a pretty tedious process. You really need a lot of patience for this to work. So here I am working on the arm. You can see the elbow and the tricep. Once you have an established light source, you basically use that and really start playing around with lights and shadows. It's also very important that you know your anatomy, and which makes this whole cross hatching process so much easier. Now, in the previous video, I've already established all the anatomical landmarks where all the muscle folds, where all the muscles folds and dips and bulges and all that. And that really comes in really handy when it comes to cross hatching. So here I am working on the leg and the butt and the leg area. Now here's the funny part. A lot of people don't know that the ballpoint pen behaves like a pencil. The ink actually, if you apply the right pressure, it behaves like a pencil. I mean, you can actually rub it to get like a really nice soft gray tone. Once you apply the ink line down, you can actually go with your finger and kind of like rub it, almost like smudge it. So you get this really gorgeous, really even, nice gray tone with your crosshatch lines. And like a pencil, it's really easy to darken the areas. So what I'm doing in the hand right there is just applying the right amount of pressure. Like a pencil, if you press hard enough, the ballpoint pen line, it darkens. So there's two things going on. I'm actually darkening certain areas by doing a lot of cross hatches and also applying a little bit more pressure to create a really darker lines. So here I am, working on the rib cage, the upper torso. And again, it's very subtle. You can't press too hard, or you'll get this like sharp black line, almost like a Sharpie. So you have to gently kind of like feather in the line, just put in the right amount of pressure to give it that slightly darker line from the previous lines. And again, it's a very tedious process, and you're just doing it over and over again. I'm constantly rotating the paper to give it the right angle where the cross hatching lines will go, and I'm also like making sure between strokes I am cleaning the tip of the ballpoint. So as you can see, my hand is going out of the frame. When that happens, I am actually cleaning the ink blob off the tip of the ballpoint pen, and which really have to stay on top of it. So you really need a lot of patience for this technique. So I am working on the chest area to give it, that deeper shadows, and also give it that hint of the nipples and the fold under the breast and all that. And same thing with the legs. I am going in and just putting in more cross hatches to give it an overall a darker the shadows. And then you're just going back and forth, back and forth. Now the great thing is when I'm toward the end, which I'm not going to show here, is I go with an eraser and erase parts of the figure, which will create this beautiful highlight.